Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Hello everyone, welcome to Primetime Local News. I have Connor joining me today as Elise is off for the next couple of days. It is National Compliment Day. So my boss told me I had to give Connor a compliment to start the show. Want to start off with, Connor, I like your quirks.
Quirks?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I like your
okay,
stick-to-itiveness. How's that? It's like your work hard, your at work ethic. Let's just go with that. I'll stop talking now.
All right, we'll come back to it. You can think. You can think. It's okay. We'll come back.
I'll stop talking right now.
So many. Yeah, we'll get there. We also asked a question of the day. We want to know, what was your first concert you ever attended? Let us know on our Facebook or our Twitter page. But first, let's go check in with our Brett Holden.
I'm joined now by James and Cindy here at Border Town Barbecue. Now, we'll just start off talking a little bit more about you guys. How'd you guys get started and bringing it here into an actual restaurant?
I guess probably in 2010. In Saskatoon, my mother mentioned about barbecue competition, and we'd never heard about barbecue competitions ever. And she said, go ahead and enter, because we enjoyed cooking. I make a Greek rib that everybody seemed to enjoy. So we thought, well, what the heck, why not? Let's go enter and see what happens. So we went to Saskatoon, brought our gas grill with us, went into the competition. I think there's 12 other teams, and hope for the best. And actually, the funny thing is we were so stressed, so we walked across to the beer gardens, had a couple beers, come back, our grill's on fire. And all the other teams were looking at, and they're just thinking, oh, this is going to be interesting, right? So we thought, well, see what happens. So awards come, and it was like 5, 4, 3, 2, and here comes one. I'm just like, it was us. Like, I couldn't believe it. And I guess we actually won a Traeger smoker, pellet smoker. And I think this is where we began with actual barbecue, is with smoking over the past couple of years. And people started enjoying our food and what we were doing. So we thought, let's take this to another level. And we from that competition, we've seen there's actually a thing as competition barbecue. So we practiced and practiced, built a food truck, trailer for competing, and entered our first competition in 2013. Kansas City. And actually the league, or the sanctioning team, it's the KCBS, Kansas City Barbecue Society. We went to Barkpalooza in Edmonton, our first one, and came third overall. So we've actually shocked a lot of people, I think, at that competition with our first event. Mm-hmm. And after that, I think we're hooked.
Yeah. Pretty smooth sailing from there, it seems like. We'll have a little bit more coming up from here at Border Town Barbecue. But first, let's head back into the studio where Michaela has a look at your weather.
All right, thank you so much, Brett. We are much warmer than we started off this morning, feeling close to minus 40 with the wind chill early this morning, sitting at minus 10 currently, feeling like minus 18, and we are in for a warm-up over the next few days. As we look to the satellite radar, we have seen the precipitation already hit the region. We have there's a 30% chance that could continue throughout the area, but only a light flurry action happening. As to our watches and warnings, none currently affect. We went out of our extreme cold warning around 10 a.m. this morning, and numbers across the map much more mild than they have been throughout the week. So 0 degrees right now in Edmonton, minus 2 in Athabasca, 0 in Whitecourt, 2 degrees in Jasper, and 0 in Edson, also in Rocky Mountain House. And then as we move over out east, minus 15 in North Battleford, cooler at minus 26 in Prince Albert right now, and minus 15 for Meadow Lake, with Saskatoon sitting at minus 14. As we look to the broadcast region, North Battleford going to hit minus 19 overnight. The clouds are going to start to dissipate for a mix of sun and cloud, and a high of minus 9 in North Battleford tomorrow. Cold Lake a little bit cooler, minus 18 overnight. Tomorrow going to be a nice single digit for the daytime high, minus 6 with a mix of sun and cloud. Now the clouds will start to pick up throughout the afternoon. And then for a cloudier on Saturday. For us in here in Lloydminster, minus 15 overnight. And we are going to see that cloud start to break up throughout the morning. Minus 5 for a daytime high. Minus 15 is the overnight low. 25% chance we could see some flurry activity also on Saturday. Now, because we are above the freezing mark, that could be freezing rain. Minus 7 for the overnight low. And then on Sunday, a mix of snow and rain. There's 60% chance. High of 1 degree. And we're not even going to go underneath the freezing mark. We're going to stay right there at 0. I'll have more details on your next week's work week coming up in just a little bit.
It's been 12 years since Canada saw a food guide upgrade. In this week's Agriculture Report, Gerard Lampow gets industry reaction from the beef sector.
While healthy eating sounds easy, we know that often it truly isn't.
In delivering the new food guide, Minister Peripat Taylor points to our busy lives and the struggle to find the balance of a healthy choice. Ag stakeholder Megs Reynolds is examining aspects of the new food recommendation.
An important piece of getting that message out there is that everybody needs to work together. And I don't just mean that farmers and ranchers need to work together. I mean that our government also has to be on the same page with us. And that includes valuing all of agriculture equally.
The new food guide promotes a plant-based diet over dairy and meat.
I don't think we should direct people as to what part of a protein or what they should focus on in that category. I think whether I choose to get my protein from beef or from poultry or from fish or from lentils, that decision is up to me, and I want the tools to be able to make the decision that is best for me.
Protein derived from plant-based sources compared to beef is a concern that Jill Harvey from the Canadian Cattlemen's Association is weighing in on.
Not all proteins are created equal. Lean meat is important part of a healthy, balanced lifestyle, and you do get your best bang for your buck. You're not having to consume a huge amount of calories to get the right amount of protein in your diet, along with essential amino acids.
Harvey references other beef benefits.
The iron that's in beef is more bioavailable to humans than plant-based proteins. Also, that they can complement each other. It's called the meat factor.
Meantime, Stuart Smythe, who lectures at the University of Saskatchewan, admits that many Canadians are already following Health Canada's lead.
Certainly to me, it wasn't a surprise that that was sort of what the guidelines stated. And I think that's very evident when you walk into a grocery store and you look at the amount of variety and the size of the displays that are available for pulses and lentils.
But cattle production saves 1.5 billion tons of carbon at a value of $82 billion. Smythe's concerns going forward is the pasture land that's dedicated to cattle, given the amount of carbon sequestration that the beef industry delivers.
I think this is an important issue that factors into this discussion about plant or meat-based protein sources, because there's land out there that's its most economical environmental benefit is converting plant matter into livestock protein.
Gerard Lampow, Primetime Local News.
This Ag Report is brought to you by the Lloydminster Co-op Agro Center. Depend on them for product, tools, and expert advice. Shop at your local Lloyd Co-op Agro Center with branch locations in Lashburn and Neilburg.
And that's it for Agriculture News. Sports is next, but first, let's take a look at your ag prices.
Every member of the City Centre Auto Body team has been through extensive training. We're constantly upgrading our team's education to reflect current collision repair technique.
Despite losing last night to the Camrose Kodiaks, there were finally signs that the young club is starting to see growth. Josh Ryan has more on a hard-fought contest against coach Nigel Dubé's old team.
Starting a winning streak remains elusive for the Bobcats in 2019, but for the first time this season, a multi-goal deficit didn't escalate into a blowout. The Cats responded quickly after the Kodiaks made it 3-0, ending the second frame down a goal and coming very close to evening the score in the third.
Yeah, catching it before it gets out of hand. I think Elds really stepped up. He made some huge saves, kept the boys in it, and then I think Anderson scoring a goal, right after they scored a goal, really helped us get that spark and get back in the game.
We didn't give up, and once I got that goal, it kind of got the boys rolling again, and we had lots of ozone time, and we just couldn't quite pull it back, but it was still a good effort there at the end.
What continues to ail the team, however, is the start. A turnover in the opening minutes led to some passive play at times, in stark contrast to the vigor with which they attacked the Kodiaks in the final frame.
We just need to start with that intensity and that drive instead of waiting for a play in the second period for that to happen.
Pre-game habits are being refined, but that part of competing remains a work in progress.
I think we need to be more prepared at the start of the game there, because that's kind of when we had that breakdown. But you know, after that we bounced back and we were better for the rest of the game, but we need to be ready to go right from the start.
There's more adversity ahead for a young group well out of the playoff race. However, they finally have some momentum to build off of heading into the last 2 months.
And we can compete with any teams in this league, no matter how old we are.
I think we have a lot of confident guys in our room right now, even though they're young, and I think we're only going to get better as the year goes on and into next year as well.
Josh Ryan, Primetime Local Sports.
And now let's send it over to Brett Holden down at Bordertown Barbecue.
James joins us once again here at Bordertown Barbecue. Now, James, we were talking a little bit about just how different and kind of diverse barbecue is. What exactly is barbecue? Because it's not just necessarily burgers and steaks.
Exactly. Barbecue, real barbecue, is low and slow, huge in the southern U.S. It's slowly making its way up in Canada, as well as the KCBS sanctioned events. And you are right, a lot of people do, when they hear barbecue, they're thinking about throwing a steak on the grill in your yard or burgers or somewhat. So with that said, our menu and typical barbecue restaurant menus are quite small, with your 4 meats, your brisket, pulled pork, ribs, and chicken. So here, we thought we should be more diverse, so we are going to be incorporating steak soon. We do burgers. We do a Greek rib also, and just better serve our local customers too.
So when it comes to, I know you guys are trying to plan on a new menu as well. What were kind of some things that you guys were or you find very important to add to a menu like that? I know you mentioned just some of the smokiness as well to some of the dishes.
Again, with the lunch menu, get them in quicker. Also, like with our low and slow, it's so limited to what we can do daily. We only could cook so much a day. So a lot of times at supper time, we may be out, because there's only so much in a day that we can actually smoke. And actually here is an order up right now of some of our smoked. Here's our brisket actually, our cook prepared, and I think our waitress should be here any moment to serve our customers.
Perfect. We'll have a little bit more coming up from here at Bordertown Barbecue. These dishes are, there we go, on their way out into the front area. We'll have a little bit more coming up from here at Bordertown Barbecue. But first, let's head back into the studio where Michaela has a look at your weather.
All right, thank you so much, Brett. Starting it off with this cool shot of the ice from earlier in the week. Thank you, Aaron, for sending that in. It is going to be some good barbecue weather if you like that. -10 right now here in the Border City, feeling like -18. -5 in Vermilion, also in Vegreville. And then as we move up the map a little bit cooler, -8 in St. Paul right now, -13 for Bonnyville, -10 in Lac La Biche with Cold Lake sitting at -15. But Edmonton sitting at the freezing mark right at 0 there. -9 for Maidstone, -15 in North Battleford. Could see some strong wind gusts there tomorrow morning, as well as some flurry activity throughout the morning and then into the afternoon. And then as we move up the map, temperatures are sitting below the average there, -17 in St. Walburg and -15 up in Meadow Lake. As we look further up north, still in those cold numbers there, -29 in La Ronge, -26 in Buffalo Narrows, -26 in La Loche. And then as we move into Alberta, Fort Chipewyan has had the honor of being the cold spot in Alberta for about 2 weeks, almost every day now, sitting at -30, -18 in High Level, -2 in Peace River, with Grand Prairie sitting at -1 right now. And then as we look down south, quite mild, especially when you compare it to the north. 1 degree in Calgary, -1 for Banff, -2 in Lethbridge. And then as we look out east, -13 currently in Moose Jaw, with Regina sitting at -18, Estevan -21. We are going to be significantly warmer than we started off today, almost reaching -40 with that wind chill. Tomorrow, daytime high of -5. We could see some strong wind gusts up to 40 km/h throughout the day, but nothing too major weather-wise, which is good. -9 for North Battleford tomorrow, also in St. Walburg, with Meadow Lake reaching a high of -10. -3 for St. Paul tomorrow, Bonnyville sitting at -5, Cold Lake -6, and Lac La Biche a high of -3. For the kids off to school in the morning for Friday, -10. Bundle up there with the wind. It's going to feel a little bit cooler. -6 -9 over recess, and then warming up to our daytime high over the lunch hour, -6 there with some cloud cover, and that's going to start to dissipate. -15 is our low for tomorrow, and then we're above the freezing mark on Saturday. 3 degrees there, -7. Now on Sunday, because we are above the freezing mark there, a mix of snow and rain, and it could be some freezing rain there because we are toying right on the freezing mark at 0 degrees for our overnight low. Monday, we'll see some sunshine, -12, -14, so we are getting back into those cold numbers. Tuesday, -18 with the overnight low hitting -24. Even colder on Wednesday with our overnight low hitting -28. And then on Thursday next week, a high of -16, -20. Averages for this time of the year are -10 and -19 for the overnight low. So we are sitting well below that for the weekend, which is nice, and then we go back into it for next week.
And now it's time to take a look at what's happening throughout the region with Heather Klegus in What's Happening.
You know, there's nothing quite like a good book. Family Literacy Day is coming up this Sunday, and at the Lloydminster Public Library, they've been running a number of events to help celebrate, and you can take part in one of them coming up on Saturday. Swing by, see the folks here at the library, and you can build something creative with Lego. That'll run from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. coming up on Saturday. Get your tickets now for the annual Tell a Miracle Steak Night. It's being hosted by the Lloydminster Kinsmen and Connects next Saturday night of February the 2nd out at the Lloyd X grounds. A delicious steak supper is what's on the menu. They've got live and silent auctions full of unique items. Plus, you can dance the night away to music from the Prairie Dogs. Call Darcy 780-871-4818 to get your tickets. This week, we want you to win some music that's in contention for an Oscar. The movie Black Panther has got 7 Oscar nominations, including Best Original Song, All the Stars. You're going to find it on this album, and we want you to win a copy. All you have to do is email your name and daytime phone number to tvcontest@newcap.ca. We want to say thanks to John at Universal Music Canada for setting us up with the music. And coming up tomorrow night, it's Robbie Burns night in Edgerton. You can pick up your tickets at the Village office. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, I hope you have a great one. I'm Heather Klegus, and that's what's happening.
And now let's send it back to Brett Holden down at Bordertown Barbecue.
Well, we are back here at Bordertown Barbecue, and as you can see right here, it is where all the smoking happens. We have a couple of ribs in there right now, but we'll talk to James a little bit just about the importance of smoking. Smoking is very popular in barbecue and the industry, so you guys have a bunch of different flavors, the cherry, the apple, the hickory smoked. What's the difference in all of them, and what's the importance of smoking in barbecue?
Well, that's what barbecue really is actually cooking with real wood, so smoking. It gives different flavors. For example, our chicken, we will use apple, which is a more mild fruit flavor. It's not overpowering smoke. Our brisket, we use hickory. It's a more stronger wood, which will bring on that real smoky flavor, which a brisket could handle. We also like to use cherry with our brisket. That gives it a lot of that smoke ring. You could tell real, true, authentic barbecue that way with the smoke ring.
So let's talk about now, I mentioned before you guys used to have a food truck, but used to is the wrong word to use. You guys are still running with that food truck. Let's talk about the food truck and also just the transition into this kind of restaurant as well.
Correct, yes, we still have a food truck. It's closed for the season. It's seasonal. We've been around the last few years, Lloydminster area, doing festivals, fairs, etc. It was quite successful, so we had come up with our signature items with the food truck we brought to the restaurant. That's usually salad made from scratch, our rubs made from scratch, our sauces. So last summer, this restaurant came available here at the Royal Hotel, and we thought we'll never have an opportunity like this to be in a restaurant. So we were quite grateful to have this opportunity come, and we thought, let's do this. We jumped in with both feet. It's been heck of an uphill battle, I tell you, from a food truck all the way up to a restaurant lounge and catering banquet halls. So let's hope for the best, and it's been tough, and we've had a number of support. It's been great, overwhelming, but we're loving the ride.
Perfect. We'll have a little bit more coming up from here at Bordertown Barbecue. But first, let's head back into the studio where the people in the studio are talking about your first concert. And guys, I'm pretty proud to say my first was Michael Bublé.
right, not bad, not bad. I can see Brett is a big Michael Bublé fan. Yeah, that's our question of the day. We want to know, what was your first concert? Connor's never been to a concert.
Well, unless you count the Aaron Goodvin concert kind of at the Gold Horse that I went to
Yeah,
last
that's a
week.
concert.
Okay, then I guess that'll be my first then.
Wow, 25 years old and you just went to your first concert.
I almost went to Taylor Swift when she was in Edmonton, but I got sick, so.
Oh no, what'd you get, food poisoning?
I don't know, I just had the flu.
Oh, there we go, that's not fun. My first concert was Britney Spears in 1999, and I got a signed teddy bear because I was very ill out of the hospital, so she was very kind to give me one. I want to read a couple of the ones that we got. Bill says April Wine and the Hearts was the opening act in Swift Current. We also have Michelle says Alice Cooper in Calgary, and Carol says she saw Johnny Cash at the X, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that'd be a really cool concert. All right, we're going to turn to our pets of the day now. Let's see who we have. This is Riku? Riku?
Yeah.
That's a really cute little dog there with a carrot in his mouth. That was sent to us by Samantha. This one's Dory. Look at that little cat. That was sent to us by Jody. Very adorable. Next up, we have Nova and Willow. This was sent to us by Tanya. Look at that cute duo. Next up, we have Tipper. Oh, that's a really cute kitten. That was sent to us by Bailey. And then last, but certainly not least, we have Milo, and that was sent to us by Amy. If you would like to see your pet here on Primetime Local News, send us a photo. Please include your pet's name. And if they are on the show, you'll be entered to win a $50 gift card to the Lloydminster Pet Pad.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
And welcome back to Primetime Local News, joined by two captains with the Rustlers volleyball squads. Ray Sigurdsson, fifth-year setter of the women's team, and Matt Peck, third-year left side, libero turned left side with the men's team. So an exciting event coming up tomorrow night, and I'd like you guys just to kind of briefly fill in the audience as it is that you're doing this year for a charity cause. So Ray, I guess I'll start with you.
Yeah, sure. So we're doing a food drive on Friday night for both of our games. Our game's at 6 and the boys are at 8. So one non-perishable food item will get you into the game for free. And all of the donations are going to the Salvation Army.
Perfect. And it's, yeah, all the Salvation Army. Is this the first time, Matt, you guys have done something with the Salvation Army before?
Yeah, it's the first time we've done a food drive for this, which is, it's really cool. I think they're an awesome charity, and so it'll be nice to be able to donate to them. It was an idea from the girls team, and they've asked us to get on board with them, and being able to work together, and this is going to be awesome.
Yeah. And now, Ray, you were telling me off camera that this is you guys have been doing a charitable drive or a cause of some kind, basically every semester. That over the last couple of years that you've been here. Last semester, you guys had a cause as well, correct?
Yes. So what we actually do is when we set goals at the beginning of the year, we look at the 3 aspects. So we look at the court, the classroom, and the community, or we call them the 3 Cs. And we make it a goal kind of to do a volunteer activity or some sort of charitable work every semester. So last semester, we did Operation Christmas Child. And this semester we decided to do a food drive, and within each semester, you know, we volunteer at the volleyball camps. We have a 14U development team that Austin and Taylor both run, and athletes from the men's and the women's team both go out to help there too.
And now, what got you looking at the food drive particularly? I know, Matt, you already said that it's a great cause, obviously, with the Salvation Army, but what drew you to that one specifically versus the other causes?
I think it's just an easy way for us to give back. Basically, all we have to do is show up to the game and play, and people will come to watch us, and we can donate to a cause that way, as opposed for people paying to get in and supporting Rustler Athletics. It's just like an easy way for us to give back to the community.
Now, do either of you or any of your teammates kind of have any kind of personal connection, or know people who know folks, families that, you know, fallen on hard times? Obviously, it's been a tough time in the economy the last 2 or 3 years. Know people that have had that experience of, you know, money's a little short and every little donation, you know, makes a difference.
I think everyone has someone they know that experiences some hard times, and, you know, it may not be all the time when you're struggling, but I think everyone has those experiences of people that they know or themselves who go through hard times. And so any way that we can help support those people, whether it be that they're always struggling or they're only struggling for a small period, it's really great for us to be able to do.
Yeah. And have you had any feedback, really quickly, any feedback so far since you've announced the food drive on Facebook and whatnot?
like we've had lots of people sharing our posts and stuff, lots of people thinking that it's a really great and cool idea, an easy way for us to give back.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to be a huge game on Friday night. It's really exciting. It's the volleyball games themselves. We can hopefully come away with 2 wins and have some really exciting games for the fans, and for sure we're hoping for a big crowd.
Awesome. So remember, folks, that's 6 p.m. Friday night with the women starting. The men 30 minutes after the women are done. That obviously could fluctuate. We've gotten used to it being at 7:30 instead of 8 sometimes in the past couple of years, but we'll see how tomorrow night goes. 1 non-perishable food item gets you in for free.
And we're obviously accepting extra donations. If people feel that they want to give a little bit more, we're not just going to turn your way if you bring more than 1 non-perishable food item.
Yeah, I certainly hope you wouldn't do that to those poor folks. We'll have more with these guys in the next hour on Primetime Local News.
I am joined with Donna Crillo-Lorenz of the Canadian Regional Coordinator for Canadian Transplant Association. Thank you so much for coming in today. We have a special event coming up this weekend. Do you want to kind of tell us about the Transplant Trot?
This weekend, Saturday, is the 4th annual Transplant Trot for Lloydminster.
Yep.
It is an awareness event for the Canadian Transplant Association, and it's really just a way for people to come out and visit with and have a walk with their family and friends. And we will celebrate the living donors, donor families, and recipients.
Amazing.
With a recognition walk, and doors open at 8:30.
Yep.
There has been online registration with the Running Room Canada, but it's closed now. But we will be still taking registration at the event if you so desire to come out and join us.
Oh, okay, perfect. So if people do still want to register and come down that day, it's still open for that?
It's still open.
Awesome.
Yep, the fee is $30 for adults, $15 for youth. Children under 6 are free.
Yep.
And we should have adequate number of t-shirts and the race bibs for everybody to be put their names in for the door prize draws.
Perfect. And so when someone comes down for the day, what can they kind of expect from the day? It's a run. Is it a 5K run, walk? Is that
we call it a 5K run/walk.
Yep.
There are a group of participants that are runners, and so we always allow them to have the track to themselves for about 15 minutes.
Yep.
We have a special recognition walk. Those of us that have been recipients or living donors, donor families, all with color-coded bandanas, we'll have one walk around the track to open things up, and then everybody else can join in, and we've got the track until 12 o'clock.
Amazing.
It's a closed event, so the general public cannot come, just because of insurance purposes and the running room rules. So yeah, but still come and join us. It's a beautiful event.
Absolutely. And I know that this event is near and dear to your heart, so kind of want to, if you want to kind of share a little bit of your story and how you got involved and why this is an important event to you.
Okay. I'm a kidney transplant recipient. I'm in my 15th year. There are actually quite a number of people in Lloydminster who have received organ or tissue donations, and it gives us a second chance at life. Some have been given a third chance of life. And really with the Canadian Transplant Association, it's just an opportunity for us to celebrate that one day a year.
Yeah, absolutely. And for someone who wants to get more involved, if there's, maybe they're not coming for the run specifically this weekend, but if they want to donate, if they want to become a donor, how do people go about doing that?
Well, we do have all of the forms at the event for Alberta residents and Saskatchewan residents.
Okay.
Alberta residents can register their intent online. Saskatchewan, they just put a little red dot on their Saskatchewan healthcare card.
Right.
But if anyone in the community has any questions, they could always give us an email at lloydregionscta@gmail.com.
Okay.
And there's always one of us from the group that are checking those emails and responding to them.
Awesome. And you said a little off camera that this is your 4th year doing this. What is kind of your favorite part personally of the event and the day?
Oh, absolutely, the recognition walk. These trots are held Canada-wide.
Yep.
Most of them are done in the spring, and we just felt we never wanted to fight Mother Nature. And because we have such a beautiful indoor track, that's why we chose the event in January indoors. But the recognition walk to celebrate those people who are living donors that have given a kidney or part of a liver to a loved one or a friend. And then we also will have some of the donor families, those who have lost loved ones, who are coming to celebrate that person who was an organ and tissue donor. So that one lap around the track is emotional for all of us, but really important. Yeah, that's the main reason we do it.
Absolutely. Well, I thank you very much for coming in and telling us about the event. It is on Saturday, and like Donna said, you can go in that day and register. So thank you so much for coming in, and we hope a lot of success for this year's event.
Thank you so much, Elise.
Thank you.